Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, today I want to talk about what you can live without. I am a minimalist, and I have been a minimalist for over a decade now. I'm trying to think since 2000, for 13 years. No, wait, for 15 years. It started 15 years ago. So, before my kid was even born, I became interested in tiny living and tiny homes, and I really wanted to. My my kid's dad and I, my ex-husband, the initial plan was to build a cob home or a straw bale home, some sort of a like biodegradable, environmentally friendly, good insulation, earth material type home, and you know it was going to be smaller. He was a minimalist when we got married. I was not yet. Um and he didn't necessarily inspire minimalism in me, but he did make me realize. So my ex-husband wasn't the greatest husband. And everything, but honestly, I mean, he did have some good qualities. I mean, I've known him, or I had known him since I was 12 years old. So there were good memories. There were things about him that I obviously liked, even if he did lose his mind and abandon us. But one thing I learned, so when we got married, he had a studio apartment, a bike, like a bicycle, like a pedal, not like an electric bike or anything, just like a nice bicycle. Um, a twin bed, a air mattress that went on the twin bed. I think he had a tent, and some clothes. And I realized something, like he was perfectly fine going without. So what did I not need? And that's I think that was kind of what made me, I mean, like, I was at one point the girl with a walk-in closet, the girl with too many clothes. At one point I was working so much, I would walk into the mall, I would go into a store, and they didn't know whether to like me or hate me, because I'd be like, this is what I want. Do you have something similar to that to show me or not? And if they did, I would look at it, and if they didn't, I would walk out. And I just did not have time for any BS. I mean, I was making good money though, so it was literally a matter of I need an outfit for work because I didn't have time to do laundry because I was working like 100 hours a week. But and that was like pre-YouTube, so I had like no idea about how like I could get stuff to like my laundry setup I have now. I had no idea that was even an option back then. But I started realizing like I had so much stuff. And then when my kid was little, I just one day, and at this point now, mind you, at this point I had not heard about minimalism as a concept. It was around, I just wasn't really familiar with it. And I was just like really frustrated one day, and I was like, there's just like too much. And so I just started going through my closet and getting rid of stuff and everything, and really paring down. And then I discovered minimalism, and I was like, wow, that kind of aligns with my values right now. And so then I pared down more and more. And each move I pared down, because, and that's something you'll find, like, if you move, you really realize what you don't even care about anymore. So at one point, I was a minimalist. I had, my exceptions were books because I was a teacher, so I needed to have supplies like that. So, like, books, teaching supplies, that was an exception because that was like work tools. Like, if I was a mechanic, I couldn't do the 100 items thing and count my tools because I'd need like the different screwdrivers and wrenches and stuff. So, one point I had less than 100 things. I did the capsule wardrobe. I did the 333 wardrobe or whatever. I think, what was it, like 333, like 30 things for 3 months for, I can't remember what it was, but I did that. I have learned to go without. And it was funny because, so my hot water heater has been working on and off all winter. Like, it keeps breaking, but then, like, I'll call the plumber and we'll schedule it, and then, like, it'll fix itself. And we thought it was like weather related or something, but now I think it's just like kaput. But I was talking to the plumber, well, technically the plumber's wife today, and I was like, no, it's okay. I mean, like, if you could just let me know, because I'll, stay home from work that day. Whatever day they're coming. I was like, that way I don't want to go to work and be up near you and have them down here, and, and then we can't figure out a game plan or whatever. And I was like, and I get it, if they have emergencies, like, you do realize you are an emergency. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not flooding. And she's like, your hot water heater has been breaking on and off for months. For months, we've been trying to figure out what's going on with it. And it's a different hot water heater. It's not one that they normally work with because I'm in a park model. And so it's a little more unique. To be completely honest, I don't care what Fogatti says. It's a crap hot water heater. It broke a year and a half or so in. Like, what? I got it March of 2023. Got it installed in end of March 2023. Wasn't even fully operational until end of March, beginning of April 2023, because, like, the guy I'd hired to put it in, that's a whole other story. And it broke the first time this year, January, so it's been a headache. And I was like, no, and I have a camp shower now. I got one of, like, those really nice, I spent like $45 on it because, like, I was sick of having to go to the amenity center to shower. So I splurged, and so now I boil water to shower. But I definitely am looking forward to having, like, the whole water heater thing resolved for once and for all, just because, like, it would be nice to, like, get in the shower and not have to, like, it takes work to, like, do it, and it's planning. And however, I'm impressed. By myself, I can shower and wash my hair with 5 gallons of water. And I think that's, like, very green of me. But I have discovered there's a lot of things I can go without. I can literally go without a hot water heater. Do I like to? No. Is it absolutely miserable? Yes. Do I have challenges, especially with the Reynolds, because of, like, I boil water and put it in the sink to wash dishes, but then I have to rinse it in cold water because, no hot water. So that's definitely, like, a challenge or whatever. But, I mean, it is what it is. And I guess I just, like, I swear I'm not a masochist. But I learn each day what I can live without, what I don't need. And I need less and less. And I don't buy very much. I mean, I feel like I did buy a lot lately. I had to buy like underwear and stuff like that, and that's no fun. But I mean, it's not that it's like fun or not fun. I mean, it should be a neutral activity, but I just hate spending money. Uh, but I I don't spend a lot of money. So today I'm wondering, what can you live without? Because if you told me 20 years ago, honestly, I probably would have been okay with the concept of a tiny home 20 years ago. The park model I would have freaked out about because my parents had me terrified to live in a park model. I could have actually bought a place 20 years ago in the same subdivision I am in. I could have done it like 25-ish years ago, and uh, it would have been super cheap. And I would have had the money, and I would have had all the equity then built and everything. And the only reason I didn't is because my parents always used to call park models God's Tinker Toys and talk about how like trailer parks were wiped out and demolished by tornadoes and everything. And this one has like a storm shelter, so that's good. But I was always like terrified that I would like die in my park model house. And I mean, I still kind of freak out about my kid, like when I have to go and it's storm season, but I I would never have guessed that my wardrobe would be so small. I wouldn't have guessed that would I mean, like, if you'd asked me, I really thought that I was going to be like the type of person who, in my early 20s, late teens, I thought I was going to be like, not necessarily rich. Like, I never wanted to marry for money. I always wanted to make my own money. And then I kind of wanted to do like the green thing. But I never would have thought that I would have happened upon circumstances. I never planned on being a single mom. My kid was planned, but his dad changed his mind like 2 hours before I paid on the stick. Um, Not an opportune time to change your mind. Uh, so life didn't go as planned. And as a result, I did find out, like, I found out a lot of things about me that I do like. I like not owning a ton of stuff. I have always, like, ever since I was a kid, my mom drilled into me that, like, knickknacks and stuff are just dust catchers. And so that's stuff you have to dust. And I'd rather not dust. I'd rather, not clean stuff all the time. Like I said, right now I feel like I have way too much crap. Um, and I'm working on getting rid of yet more. But what don't you need? I mean, think about all of the things you have in your life that you don't even use. Like me and my stinking crock pot that I thought I needed a crock pot. I've had that same crock pot for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years maybe. I can't remember when I got it. I don't know if it's the same one that I had when I moved out at like 19. I got one at like 19, 20 years old. So like 25 years. I don't know. I would think 30. I didn't have one at 15, but I don't know if it's the same one or if I got one again when I bought my first house. But anyways, I rarely use a crock pot. And like there's a lot of things that you think you need and you just don't. And so as you are trying to be frugal and everything, and I mean, I guess this is really to a minimalist tip. What don't you need? Because the thing is that even if you already own the stuff, if you own stuff that you're not using, then it's just going to waste. It's just collecting dust. Somebody else might be able to use it. You may be able to sell it. You may be able to give it away to somebody who really loves that thing. And I'm not saying give away all your worldly possessions. I am talking about what you don't need, like what you thought you needed, but you didn't. Like me, I'm going to convert the crock pot. I'm going to see if I can make my body butter and chapstick and stuff in it. And if I can, then it's great and I'll keep it. But if I can't, I'm going to give it away. Um, I think as human beings, we are far simpler creatures than we realize. And we let our quest for stuff really, it it changes our whole life. It changes everything. And then instead of being able to be happy, we're too busy collecting stuff and dealing with stuff and everything. So today's tip for frugal living is to figure out what you don't need in life. Figure out what you can live without. And those things that you can live without, those things that you don't need, as you're starting to look, you're going to see something. You're going to see a pattern of what you don't need is going to be things frequently you don't use, or things that you will start to notice that their presence in your life is actually bringing you down. Like right now, I have a whole thing of craft stuff that I'm getting rid of. It's been a really cold spring. I don't know if it's just I'm more sensitive to the cold because of the rain odds or what, but I haven't had a chance to really go through the shed like I normally would have and like change everything around. But I just want to get rid of a bunch of stuff, and I'm ready to start the next stage of my life. And I'm ready to let go of the things that are holding me back, because right now, like that corner over there, that's like, I feel like it's just a physical representation that's holding me back. Those are most of the stuff there are things I don't need. So I will be, I'll be looking to change, eliminate, get rid of stuff, and then, kind of just like move on from there or whatever. But the factor that it's there, it takes up space in my house, it takes up space in my head. I could have something I really love in that corner, and I have limited space. So to me, frugality isn't just about saving money, it's about being less wasteful. And if you are holding on to physical things you don't need, they're taking up space in your home, there's space in your head, space in wherever. And it's also something that somebody else could use. And I mean, I'm very against like the whole hoarding thing. Like, I understand it's a disorder, and I'm not criticizing anybody who has hoarding disorder. Like, don't take it that way. Um, but some people hoard stuff they don't need to. Like, some people, it's clearly, if it's a mental disorder, it's something you need help with. I'm talking about people who like take advantage of people. There's no reason we need to have people trying to be trillionaires in this world. So figure out what you can go without, because there's a lot that you don't need in life. And believe it or not, getting rid of some of it will make you happier. And also, having things that you don't need costs you money. It costs you money in upkeep. It costs you money in so for example, if you have a whole knickknack collection, you're having to not only spend the time dusting it, you're having to pay for the cleaners to dust it. You're having to do all of that. So it's costing you money. So just kind of try and get rid of what you don't need. So today's tip for frugal living is to start looking in yourself, looking in your surroundings, and seeing what you can go without. Because the less you need, the better your life can be. Anyways, again, my name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.